Centuries before Muhammad bin Qasim marched into Sindh, Arab merchants already knew its ports by name. So, if trade connected these worlds long before any army arrived, why did the Umayyads decide conquest was necessary? Sindh's value lay in its geography and its wealth. Near the mouth of the Indus, close to where modern Karachi now stands, a fortified port once watched over ships coming in from the Arabian Sea. This place, known in ancient texts as Barbaricon, and later as Debul or Bambore, served as a natural gateway. Here, the Indus River opened a route deep into the interior, connecting sea trade to the markets and towns upriver. Goods arriving by ship could travel north to cities like Multan, where inland markets and administrative centers collected taxes and managed trade. Caravans followed the river and crossed mountain passes, linking Sindh to Central Asia and beyond. Whoever controlled this corridor could tax goods, regulate who passed through, and profit from the movement of merchants. In this way, Sindh was more than a distant border. It was a practical prize, a place where land and sea routes met, and where power meant wealth. Long before Muhammad bin Qasim's campaign, Arab interest had already reached the eastern frontiers. Some early accounts, though not always consistent, placed the first Arab raids into the region during the time of Caliph Umar, around the 630s and the 640s. These were not full-scale invasions, but small-scale probes into Makran, and sometimes into Sindh. The aim was often to collect tribute or test local resistance, not to settle or govern. The terrain posed real challenges. Arid deserts, long supply lines, and unfamiliar rivers made it difficult to hold ground. Local rulers fought back, and the harsh environment strained the resources of any force coming from the west. Most of these early expeditions ended quickly, with Arab forces withdrawing after brief clashes or limited gains. The sources do not always agree on the exact dates or outcomes, and it is difficult to be certain about the details. What is clear is that these early raids set a precedent. The eastern frontier was already on the map of Arab ambitions, but permanent conquest would have to wait for another generation. Arabic chronicles tell of a ship sailing near the Sindh coast carrying Muslim women and gifts when it was attacked and its passengers taken. The governor of Iraq, Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf, demanded that Raja Dahir, the ruler of Sindh, return the captives and punish those responsible. Dahir, according to these accounts, denied any control over the pirates and claimed he could not guarantee safety on the seas. The story appears in several sources, Al-Tabari, Al-Baladhuri, and the later Chachnama, each with its own version and emphasis. Al-Tabari describes the loss of valuable gifts and the outrage it caused. Al-Baladhuri focuses on the broken promise of safe passage. The Chachnama, written centuries later, adds more details and drama. Modern historians caution that these accounts were written long after the events and likely reflect the needs of their own times. The ship incident became the official reason for invasion, but it is now seen as just one piece of a much larger puzzle. The real motives included trade, security, taxation, and the ambitions of the Umayyad state. The chronicles use religious language, but the evidence suggests a mix of practical and political aims behind the campaign. In 711 CE, Muhammad bin Qasim led his army out of Makran, heading east toward the Indus Delta. Supplies and siege engines traveled by sea, arriving alongside the troops at Debul, a fortified port near the river's mouth. Arab engineers quickly assembled mangonels and battering rams brought by ship. After a brief siege, Debul fell, clearing the way inland. The army moved north along the Indus, targeting Sawan next. Despite strong defenses, Sawan surrendered after fighting. The advance pressed on to Brahmanabad, a key city in the lower Indus Valley. Resistance was fierce, but the city was taken after a siege. Alor, a local capital, fell next, followed by Multan, known for its wealth and temples. Each victory brought new territory under Umayyad control. The sequence of Daebul, Sewan, Brahmanabad, Alor, and Multan marked more than a raid. The campaign's careful supply lines, rapid sieges, and capture of major towns signaled a shift toward lasting rule. By the time Multan fell, Umayyad authority had reached deep into the region, transforming the expedition into a new province. After the fighting ended, the new rulers faced a simple question: how to govern a land with so many different people and traditions. Rather than wiping out the old order, the Umayyad administration often worked with local elites. Many Hindu and Buddhist leaders kept their positions, helping collect taxes and manage daily affairs. The system relied on treaties, tribute, and cooperation. New taxes were introduced, including land taxes on farmers, and a poll tax called jizya for non-Muslims. These taxes brought steady revenue to the new government, but most people continued their lives much as before. Temples and religious institutions remained open, especially when they supported the local economy or helped keep order. Archaeological finds from Banbore and Multan show that Hindu and Buddhist worship continued alongside new mosques. Most communities were treated as protected groups. They paid taxes, but were not forced to convert to Islam. Instead, gradual changes came over time. Arab traders settled in the towns, sometimes marrying into local families. New words, customs, and legal ideas slowly spread. Historians like Richard Eaton and Andre Wink point out that Islam became part of Sindh's society through trade, settlement, and social ties, not through sudden mass conversion. The process of change took generations, shaped by both policy and daily life. History rarely fits a single reason. Today, faith and power still mix with trade and strategy. The debates over motives in Sindh remind us, stories of conquest are never simple.